I'm 28M, being pressured to propose by GF, 29F. What do I do? Throwaway account. Of course. Me, 29M, and GF, 29F, currently live together. We have been together a long time. Over 5 years. We own a house together, etc. I really care about her. Her about me. The issue is she keeps making comments about me proposing to not just me, but our friends as well. And it's getting to be too much. Every time she talks to friends, it's jokes or passive-aggressive comments about how she wishes she was engaged or that I'd propose. I do want to marry her, but her constant pressure is making me not want to propose. She also has it in her mind that I will propose during our next holiday together, and though I had considered it, I now don't want to, because then it's not a surprise. I don't know what to do. I try not to react to get her to stop, but she keeps doing it and it's making me not want to propose. I've also mentioned it to her and reassured her that I will propose, but she doesn't take it on board and keeps pushing it. How do I get her to stop asking? At 29, it's more likely she'll break up rather than stop asking. Clearly she wants engagement and marriage. After 5 years and social pressure, she can start feeling strung along. How do I get her to stop asking? You act like a grown-up and sit down to have a face-to-face with her about both of your expectations of the future of your relationship. Then you stop flipping, stalling, and get married. You know it's what she wants. You claim it's what you want. You've been together for 5 flipping years. What are you waiting for? Hey op. First and foremost, I think it's worth recognizing a big factor here that can be easy for men, including me, to underestimate in relationships that are approaching this stage culturally. It's been decided that men are the sole decider of when we get engaged. Obviously, this is something that can be addressed in each relationship uniquely, but it's something we need to be aware of and make an effort to work around. Because from her standpoint, you have to realize it's incredibly frustrating to be personally ready to move on to this next phase with you and have no inherent way of making it happen. She can only make it happen through you. Hopefully that makes it a little more understandable why those frustrations and desires come out instead through passive-aggressive or sarcastic comments to friends and loved ones. Now, knowing this, as others have suggested, it sounds like it's time for the both of you to sit down with one another and have a serious talk. Plenty are going to say that it's been 5 years and you're overdue. Just propose, etc., etc. I don't necessarily agree. The only one who knows exactly where you're at in your relationship is you. It's okay to need a little more time before that step. It's okay, probably smart even, not to rush into it just because you're feeling external pressure from those outside your relationship. It's not okay, though, to be stagnant without keeping your girlfriend informed on where you're at. And you also have to recognize that it's totally reasonable for her to want that next stage of life. And she has the right to push for it. You two need to talk. You need to tell her that you do intend to marry her. And tell her why it isn't the right time for you yet. Find out if she is willing to be patient with you. Figure out both of your rough timelines. Find a way to marry these expectations. It doesn't need to be specific in case you want to surprise her when you pop the ring. But you guys do need to have an idea of each other's timelines, or you're asking for trouble. If you're intending to marry her, and she hasn't been given clear information on this stuff, then you have to understand she may be asking herself what she's done wrong to keep you from asking her by now. I hope this is helpful. I'm in a similar stage of life now. I've been having these conversations with my own partner recently. Happy to give feedback on any of these points if they're unclear. Dude, you're 29 and been together 5 years. If you don't know by now, stop wasting her time. Don't string her along. Talk to each other like adults. That's not why you don't want to propose. Because what was your excuse for the last 3+ years? I mean 5 years, dude? She's not going to wait much longer if she has any self-esteem. Dude, if you wait for it to be a surprise, the surprise will be when you come home and she's gone, and suing you for the value of her half of the home. Be a grown-up and sit down and talk about marriage and the expectations you both have in regards to it. It's not fair to sting people along if you don't want the same things. You need to have a sit down and talk with your GF about what you're feeling. Also, proposals should not be surprise. It's something that should be talked about before it happens to ensure both parties are on the same page about starting this next phase of life. You two need to talk. If you don't want to marry her, just break up. Stringing her along like this is just not right. Let her go and be happy with someone who is willing to marry her. I'll tell you what not to do. Don't live with someone and buy a house with them all the while promising marriage and then act like you're surprised and appalled they actually want to get married. You can grow up and start acting like an adult. If you're going to lead on a woman, the least you can do is not buy a house with them. Wait for her to break up with you because she's tired of waiting and then be alone, no pressure. I watched my sister go through this. He never cared about her that much. And she didn't care that he didn't care. And now their kids are growing up with indifferent parents. Weird to watch. I hope things work out for you. And I hope she gets married to someone that really wants to be married to her. My good man, y'all have everything together except kids at this point. Y'all got property and a lot of time invested. When you with a woman at this age, she wants marriage. She been patient for 5 years. You need to decide whether she a wife or not at this point respectfully. Edit. Women operate on a different clock than males. Males do not care. But women are always watching it to a certain extent. You got to be mindful. She's pressuring you cause she wants to move on to the next level. She wants you for life. Make the decision. How do you get her to stop asking? Propose to her. If that's what you really want. You've already said that you are planning to propose. So what is the issue? She is, rightfully, getting impatient because 5 years is a long time to date somebody. Is the issue really that she is pressuring you? Or is it that you don't want to marry her? Be honest with yourself. You need to stop dragging your feet and making this a power play. Either you want to marry her or you don't. If you want to, tell her that you will propose. And give her a time frame. If you don't want to marry her, own it and stop wasting her time. Deadass leave her if you can't commit. She can't wait on you forever. You get her to stop asking by proposing, you nitwit. 5 years is a long time for me. I don't think anyone should be pressured into marriage. But if I were your GF, I would think you aren't going to marry me at all. You get her to stop asking the question by answering the question. Establish a timeline of when you will propose. 3 months, 6 months, whatever. It doesn't need to be specific enough to give away the surprise, if that's really important to you. But it does need to give her an idea of when things will be moving forward. As she's clearly not happy with how things have stagnated. She's fed up, and not unreasonably so. She's made it clear what she needs. And she's not even getting reassurance that you'll ever give it to her.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.